Check it out. Got a new microphone. It cost me $40 on the fucking Facebook. So to test it out, I mean, I've done the testing already. But for the first video here, I want to do another talking as long as I can. So get a little thinky up in there, motherfucker. Didn't I click it? I definitely clicked it. My computer's definitely just loading up as well still. But my computer's a piece of shit. Oh, it's not a piece of shit. It used to not be a piece of shit. When this stuff that I have now was better. So is it working? Okay. Does it say perpetuity? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like a type of gas. Praised enthusiastically. He extolled the virtues of the Russian peoples. Extoll. Extoll. How do you say it? It's English. That literally looks like fucking Swedish.
Extoll.
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 Okay.
Extoll.
Eggs stole. And in Spanish, it's what? That's a word? Ensalzar.
Ensalzar.
Ensalzar. To praise. Exalt. The same, similar to exalt. Hold in high regard. Extolled the virtues of the Russian peoples. Okay. Real easy for the first one with the new mic. So to extol something, I think you have to understand what it is. You can't at least accurately extol something that you don't understand. That would make any fucking sense. This is also really nice because now I don't have the restriction on my neck and so it's fucking a lot better. Hopefully I sound a lot clearer. But when my voice cracks, it will also sound clear. So that'll be kind of gay. Check out my cringe new ring, by the way. It's like a fitness ring. So there's little sensors in here. See it's like a tiny circuit board. And that's kind of supposed to be here on your thumb. So it's nice because I get to fidget with it during the day. Still hate my haircut. Yeah, you definitely have to understand what you're extolling. Or else you'll be, I guess, wasting time and energy. Not to a super imperative degree. So it's I guess if you're gonna waste any time and energy, it'd probably be best to waste it on praising something wrong, as long as it doesn't negatively affect your life. Because does being incorrect out of pure ignorance actually do anything harmful for you? I don't think so. I mean, that's kind of doing the best you can. Anyways, do you think it's problematic when people praise enthusiastically something that they don't grasp, because you could be, inciting malevolence unintentionally, which is kind of one of the last things you want to do, especially if our goal is to benefit the whole, which is kind of what I've been thinking a lot more about recently. I've been reading meditations. I read super, super slowly still, because I like to read and then apply and then read and then apply. And I'm reading meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And he speaks to the whole, which is I think that's kind of the all-encompassing divine, which is what we're all in search of anyways. And basically the premise is, at the very least, you have to recognize and conform to the benefit of the whole, regardless of what you call it. So people call it, Allah, God, the gods. But it's as long as you adhere to that submission, then either way, it's pretty much fine. So that's his assertion. And I agree with that. I think it makes sense. If you're extolling something incorrectly and it directly impacts the whole negatively, it's definitely something that needs to cease immediately. Because that's pretty much the last thing you want to do. So, I mean, pretty cut and dry. If, let's say, you want to control a population, you could convince them to extol something as a distraction. So, like, let's say if I was in the CIA, maybe, and I wanted to convince the population of something for their benefit. Because, like, you got to keep in mind sometimes a lot of people hate the way the CIA operates, but it's like it's the best we got. You know what I mean? Like, so if the CIA lies to me, I'm like, hey, maybe I didn't need to know that shit anyway. It's probably for the greater benefit of the whole. So that's one thing I do feel like, as to play devil's advocate for the CIA, I do believe that they attempt at least to benefit the whole on a regular basis. And when you're talking about the populations of cities, states, and countries, it gets very difficult morally to convince people that you're on their team. So I can kind of see where they're coming from. Politicians, I mean. Just to play devil's advocate, I mean, I do like to think, I like to try and think outside the box, but I also try not to be a cynic, which is a little difficult because the line is very thin. I think, like, when you try to think outside the box, you try and disagree with everything and then prove yourself wrong. Or at least I try and prove myself wrong a lot. So if, like, the public or myself even believes something, I'll do my best to kind of prove myself incorrect. And then if I could do that, then it's like, okay, well, that's not very sturdy ground to stand on in the first place. I think it should be like that with things that you extol. You should definitely try before you praise them to be like, okay, let me make sure this is actually accurate and valid, so that, one, I'm not making a fool of myself. Two, I'm not making a fool of other people, because let's say you convince them that it's worth it to indulge in whatever praise this is. If it's like a false reality, then you're hurting that person as well. And C, you want to praise authentically. And like the only way to praise authentically is to understand what you're praising. There's a lot of, I find this prevalent with Christians. There's a lot of Christians who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And it's like, it's not like I don't believe in God. I believe in God. I think we all believe in God. Just some people call it different things. And it's like, there are some really lazy Christians who don't know what they're saying. And I don't know what it is. It might just be a byproduct of Christianity being the largest religion, at least in the Western world, which is where I live. So it's like, there's going to be a couple lazy people, is what it is. But what I mean by that is like people that just, use the buzzwords of Christianity, but don't understand the text or like the meaning or the actual prophecy itself and the modern implications that persist through time. And it's like, okay, what are you even saying if you go to church and you just like spit out a bunch of mantras and then feel good about yourself? It's like, is that bad? Not really, but it's just lazy. And it's just something that I don't like hearing. To say the least. 8 minutes. 30 minutes is going to be difficult. Not going to lie to you. Extol. What have I extolled? Oh, I'll say this. So, let's talk about my religious timeline. Where do I even fucking start? My grandfather is actually still a pastor. I think he's like 80, maybe 79, 80. It's pretty impressive, but the church is deviously small. I think there's like 10 people that go every Sunday. But he's still doing what he believes in. My mother was taught, obviously, those principles, traditional Baptist Christian. My father grew up Baptist Christian, so I grew up Baptist Christian. I don't know if you've been to a black church, but they're really something. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very theatrical, which at sometimes is quite entertaining, but at other times is a little over the top, and it's just like a feels fest. It's just like people trying to feel as much as possible. There's like, sometimes there's a lust for emotion, and it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. But other times it really is like genuine praise for a higher power, which is kind of cool. But I definitely have noticed that the exaggeration of the emotions present is definitely more prevalent in traditional Baptist Christian than like any other religion I've explored. I've never been to a mosque, never been to a fucking temple, but I've been to a Catholic church. I've been to the Church of Jehovah's Witnesses many times, maybe not many. I think probably half a dozen, 5 or 6, and then I think I went to Catholic church twice, 2-3 times. So I'd have to go. Well, I don't know the thing about like the mosques. It's like, and I've seen. There's like these Korean praise places. I don't know what they believe, but I've seen a bunch of different churches, and I don't know if. Well, I mean, I'm definitely overthinking it. Basically, I was thinking like, well, I don't know if I can go there and then be allowed in because I feel like it could be a little cliquey because usually the people that go to like those mosques are the same color and the same ethnicity from the same ethnic background, and I don't want to like intrude on whatever they have going on, but at the same time. Is that just fear manifested as moral superiority, which is very common? Could be the case. No fucking idea. But yeah. How do you like the mic? I personally, I'm like, I could be back here. Let's test this. I could be back here and just relax and I think talk, and I still should be being picked up on that thing. I like that the cord's not like wrapped around my neck. That's kind of nice. That's actually more than kind of nice, to be honest. And I could probably just play CS:GO really easily here with my mic like this, not around my fucking neck. So that's kind of sick. Yeah. Yeah. I've been definitely trying to make some cigarettes recently. This has nothing to do with extolling, but the basic formula I've come up with. Should I reveal it? It's not that important. Right now, I've just got like GABA, L-theanine, and lion's mane mushroom pills, and so I'll like open the pill capsules, mix it up with some aloe vera oil, and then coat the inside of a cigarette with it by hand. And then I'll fill it with tea and smoke it, and it smokes really, really nice. And as a matter of fact, no, I'm not gonna smoke one right now. It's not a good idea. Smoke one later, but yeah, I'm thinking of believing in those a little bit. I just oiled up about a dozen last night. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do about boxes and packaging and like plastics and things like that. So I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoy. It's very relaxing. It's very therapeutic, like making them. So it's kind of cool. I really like this. I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was a little skeptical of getting a new mic because I was like, okay, well, the integrity of the channel, I kind of want it to be like a little shitty because of like the nice vibe that it has of like, you know, shitty camera, shitty mic. It's kind of a cool vibe, but the nicer mic is pretty sweet. Plus, I don't really think anybody's doing what I do, which is like active thinking on video. I don't think many people do that, which is kind of sweet. So I have that going for me. Basically a self-podcast. It's basically the most self-centered thing on the planet. Do I give a shit? No. But, yeah, I'm feeling nice and thick. I'm doing a lot more jiu-jitsu recently. I actually choked out a dude last night for the first time in probably since I graduated college. I haven't, like, got a submission. Not a real one since I graduated college, so that was kind of awesome. I got him in a baseball choke. He was passing my guard. I was in half guard. He passed my guard. Cup, hand around the neck, got him a fucking baseball choke. Look up One Trick Pony baseball choke on YouTube if you like jiu-jitsu and you like the fucking baseball choke. It's fucking sick. Caught that motherfucker with that shit. It was awesome. He was like maybe 80 pounds smaller than me, but it definitely, that's the thing about jiu-jitsu too. It's like I'm definitely pretty often the biggest guy in the gym, and so that's like a factor when you're rolling with people. It's like that they have to consider, which is awesome because who doesn't want to be big? But sometimes I'm like, fuck, I wish I was a little smaller so that I could, you know, have a fair match with these guys because like the strength difference is there, and I want to get my technique down, and I can't do that if I'm focusing on strength, and I don't know when I'm focusing on strength and when I'm focusing on technique. It's a lot to think about. But anyways, first world problems for sure. After this, I'm probably gonna make. Well, I already made food. I have like tuna and eggs, and I'm probably gonna eat that. Not an appetizing combo, I know, but if we're talking pure numbers of protein or pure numbers of grams of protein in that fucking canister over there, right here. And that canister is whatever 6 times 5 plus 52 is. 82 grams of protein. Fucking ridiculous. So I'm going to destroy that and go from there. This is a very short video, but I feel like, no, I can definitely keep going. Okay, extolling. Extolling. To extol. To extol. Consequences of extolling. The main consequence of extolling is you are a representation of what you extol. So, like, if you believe in something and you're a piece of shit, the reputation of that thing is going to fall as well as yours. There's like a direct correlation in the relationship that people view you in and people view what you enjoy doing in. It's like if you're a shithead and you watch a lot of TV, for example, people are gonna stray away from watching TV, or they're gonna associate those two things together, watching TV with being a piece of shit. But if you're a piece of shit and you work out 7 days a week, so it's like, what are you a piece of shit at? Maybe you have low integrity, but you work out 7 days a week. People are still going to do that and be like, okay, this guy works out all the time. Maybe being obsessed with my fitness is a bad thing, when it's like one of the best things possible. So that's just kind of an interesting thought process that I think the human mind adores. I'm excited for this video. I'm excited to listen to this video and watch this video with this new microphone. It's pretty fucking sweet. And it works, so that's cool. I mean, the wires are a little messy, but I don't really give a shit. It's a really nice mic. Really nice mic! Yeah, that's one of the consequences of extolling is like, well, it's not necessarily a good or bad consequence. I also think there's this negative stigma around consequences where they're all negative, as well as judgment. I think people, it's like, you're allowed to be judged by your past actions because that's what shapes you as a human. So if you've done criminal things in the past, the odds that you're still a criminal are pretty high unless you've gone through some kind of transformation, whether that be jail, religion, just self-reflection, things like that, and which I think is imperative for the growth of the human mind and the human spirit, which is all intertwined within the whole. What time are we at here? 17 minutes. This is difficult. Usually, it seems to be the case that like most of the things I talk about kind of end up centering around religion in the end, which is kind of cool. I think that's kind of where all things end up. Even if, I don't know if you watched that, of course you didn't because it was fucking boring, but the last video, right before this upload, there's a video that I filmed like earlier this morning or this afternoon, and I watched Robert F. Kennedy's like confirmation for the HHS. It's like the Health and Human Services. I think he's going to be like the chairman or something like that. And basically they were like looking over his resume and which includes a lot of things he said. So they had like transcripts of podcasts and things like that, which is like, holy shit, they'll get that shit and bring it up during your meeting, which I mean, makes sense. They were looking at that. They were looking at what he'd done. They were looking at what jobs he had held in the past. And they were looking at what he believed in. And my point is that like, what was my point actually? Oh no. I don't know, it's just crazy. Oh yeah, authenticity. Yeah, so my point was like, you could tell that Robert F. Kennedy was very authentic, and at a certain point, after you look at all the statistics, the discussions in politics get down to ethics and what should we put money towards, because they were talking about like trillions of dollars spent on healthcare, or spent on I think it was chronic diseases, some department in healthcare, trillions of dollars. And it's like, first of all, holy fuck, trillions. It's a number to say, But like when you think about, some people don't even make $1 million in their life. 1,000 times a million is being spent on what we have no idea, and people are spending this money. It's not being spent by computers. People are choosing where the money goes. So it's like it's a very ethical discussion, because if you put the money in the wrong place, then it's like, okay, well, you care about these people more than these people. That's fucked up, and somebody's always going to be disappointed. So it's very difficult, and a lot of these discussions seem to be like ethical discussions, which is kind of, I think, where everything kind of comes back to a point, a singularity. And that's super interesting, how politics is a lot less of people being lying pieces of shit. I mean, if you lie, are you a piece of shit? I think it kind of comes down to the parameters of the reason for the lie. It's like, were you lying to protect more people than would have been protected if you didn't lie? And it's like, why not lie? So, I mean, of course, the United States press secretary isn't going to blurt out what the drones are. She'll tell us that they're United States drones and that it was from hobbyists and things like that. But what the fuck else is she supposed to say? They're from China? Is she supposed to confirm our suspicion and worry the American public so that they'll fucking pull money out of their retirement and move to Barbados and the stock market will crash? No, of course she's not going to fucking do that shit. Doesn't make any sense. So she lies to the public to keep them all relaxed and to keep things going the way they can go, so that things can keep going the way they can go, hopefully upward. That's like kind of the best they can do as politicians, in my opinion. God damn, this is hard as fuck. 21 minutes? Okay, 8 minutes left. Whew! Brain is working overtime, dude. I swear this is like a thought exercise. And I'm going to check the vitals on my ring after this and see how we're looking. It only measures every 30 minutes. After this, I might go watch a movie as well. So I think I kind of want to do... Jiu-jitsu yesterday was rough, so I'm thinking I kind of want to just rest. I could stretch. I could do like some active recovery, stretching and movement things like that, get the body loose, and then go to the movies and then go to the gym tomorrow. That'd be kind of sick. Yeah, I might do that. But I'm making it to 30 minutes. I have to maintain more discipline because I've been watching a lot of porn. I've been smoking a lot of weed recently, and I'm not super proud of that. And so I think I'm going to start here with being like, all right, I'm going to get 30 minutes no matter what. Because I watched a Chris Bumstead video yesterday with, and I'm watching ethical porn. So I've managed to convince myself that it's like the same impact. I don't think it is. But, I mean, being self-aware is one thing, making the change is another. Chris Bumstead was saying, like, you have to do. So it's like, with the small things... With even the smallest things, you have to be disciplined. So, not necessarily, and Jordan Peterson said this as well, it's like, not necessarily quitting porn. It's figuring out why you want to do the things that you do that you don't like, and then, like, fixing that. I don't think it's, like, negatively affecting my life in, like, a huge way. It'd be different if I was watching things that were demonic. I used to when I was younger. I don't anymore. It's just whatever. But still... It's weird. I don't really tell people that, and I'm not like super proud of myself about doing that. But I mean, something I do for now. I'm not gonna do it till I die. It's just permanent. I mean, it's just temporary. Excited for work tomorrow. I'll say that, and then going to jiu-jitsu right before work. So that'll be fucking pretty cool. And yeah, I'm out of water almost. Extolling. I'll do this. I will do this. 7 minutes, 6 minutes. Extolling. So, is extolling mandatory? Could be. It could be the case where... I think so. Actually, yeah. So, I'll say this. You will extol. Fucking fire. Whether you want to or not, you will extol something. Hello? If you don't extol... Oops, not videos. If you don't extol like a specific religion, which a lot of things are religions, by the way. It's not just religions with books that we read about in school and things like that. There's cults, not even like horror movie cults. I'm talking about like online forums about anything. You can be religious about your car. You can be religious about makeup. You can be religious about video games, things like this. You can be religious about reading. You can be religious about working out. And you can be religious about God, or you can be religious about your friends or your family. You can be religious about things. Just a religion is like a belief system that you have. And if this belief system encompasses something that is above, or that is, that you put above the whole, one, you're fucked. And because you'll prioritize something that you shouldn't. So that doesn't make any sense. Let me say this. If you lack a moral framework, one will be built on your behalf, whether you like it or not. And that's a reason a lot of tragedies are in the name of something greater. So they'll say, oh, I'm restoring this. They'll say, oh, we're doing that. They say, I have to do this for the benefit of this thing. This thing that's above them is usually what it is. It's not something that's below them. It's very rarely like, I just hate Mexicans, I'm going to shoot up this store in Texas. No, it's like, I love America so much that I have to shoot up this store in Texas with all these Mexicans in it to rid America of these Mexicans, like that dude did. This is just an example. And I'm not saying I do this. I would actually do the opposite. I would very much not, personally me, I would very much not shoot Mexicans. I'm a large fan of Latino culture in general. I speak Spanish myself. Yo hablo español. Puedo hablar español si te quieres, ¿me entiendes? Si me crees, yo puedo hablar por todo este video. Y después de esto, después de así, voy a comer y ir al cine. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there. My barber's Honduran. Me and him are probably going to go to El Salvador pretty soon. No cap, by the way. I love him. So I would not shoot any Mexicans. I'm saying that. But I am saying the reason that I think personally that people do is because they lack a sufficient religion to organize their moral framework for them. And so one has been built that, guess what, is malevolent. If you don't build your own, it can be built outside of your control. Whatever your subconscious consumes the most will probably build your moral framework, whether you like it or not. And so then you see, domestic terrorism and crimes and things like that just occur. It's like, well, how the fuck is this stuff happening? It's like mostly, especially if it's perpetrated by a person on their own free will, then it's probably because, it's obviously because they lack a sufficient moral framework to benefit the whole of society, and they extol something that is probably not even conscious by them. They don't even know they're doing it. So there's that. That was probably one of the most complex thoughts that I've ever iterated and verbally explained. And I'd like to thank the mic and the fucking lack of these headphones on my neck for the freedom of thought expression for that right there. That was some S tier thinking. No fucking cap. That was impressive to me, man. Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Hey, if you should I say if you like this? I'll try it. If you like this video, leave a like. Oh, cringe! Like the video or don't, but leave a comment, please. I love reading comments. I'm a big comment guy. I think likes help my video be seen by other people. So I think there's like a ratio, from what I understand, there's like a ratio of viewers to likes. And they also take in like how long somebody's viewed the video. So like if you view for 20 minutes or something like that, then it does good in the algorithm. I'm not telling you to view it for 20 minutes. I'm just saying how it works. Likes would be cool. So the more people can see this and more people could come to the community, more people could talk and things like that. I like discussing ideas. I'm not super into metaphysics because I'm kind of stupid, but it's definitely fascinating to me. Just thinking about things. So if you're a thinker that likes to think about things, if you've managed to make it this far in the video, you definitely enjoy thinking and you enjoy higher level thinking. and you enjoy complex thoughts and complex ideas. And it's very hard to find people like you and me. So I'd like you to stick around. So subscribe to the channel.